Okay, we have a great group here. This is our largest group that we've ever had at the Earther Academy. Well, we call it the Sanctuary here. And first thing, we want to welcome you to, well, it's my home, and it's our place where we can help you with everybody here. So, we usually like to do what's called a roundup. It's like we're starting our games right now. We're just starting to be able to go ahead and actually do a really intense journey that you're going to do. Okay? And it's intense only because it's slow. It's not something quick you got to do. Time when you fast, all of a sudden you find out you got a lot of time on your hands. Okay? So it'd be nice for everybody, because everyone has a reason when they come here. Maybe you just want to upgrade, enhance, and optimize, and you want to sort of clean your filters out and maybe, you know, rebuild, reset, and renew. Maybe you are having a sickness that you have and you want to just become healthy. Okay? Or maybe you're already healthy already and you've already been doing all these protocols, and now you want to advance maybe your cognitive access. There's all different pieces to this. So you guys are going to learn, again, a series of different therapies and protocols that is easy to do when someone shows you how to do it. You can watch the videos a lot of times too, but it's not like, you know, you're here to be able to do hands-on. So we call this like a workshop. It's an extension of Earther Academy, because I do a lot of videos on a lot of these different protocols. But everybody's different. Everybody's individual. You got older people, younger people. Some people have fair skin. Some people have this. Some people have an intensity that they could go ahead and do things quickly. And some people, you got to go real slow. So we've designed this protocol now to make it so everybody could advance really easy with the minimal amount of turbulence. It's taken, what, 5 years we've been doing this? 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years. So pretty much we've really tailored this, and the programs that we do now are completely different, just even the programs that we started even 3 months ago. And the ones we did when we first came, completely different than now, just because, remember, we're not just fasting, we're adding all these protocols together that actually aid into your detoxification. Is good because you're fasting, but how are you going to get the stuff out of your body? That's the problem. That's why a lot of people quit fasting, is because they get toxic and they can't take it anymore. So, you know, like I said, if you do have any type of feeling that, you know, of, you know, where you're dizzy, okay, or you feel super weak, you got to make sure, I want you to have 60 drops minimum in your water of the magnesium trace ionic minerals every day. Try to go ahead and rub it on your skin too, because remember, distilled water is going to make you a little feel tired, is because the distilled water goes in and it's going to steal your energy a little bit. Remember, it doesn't conduct electricity. I can show you with the light bulb. I just finished the light bulb experiment to show you. Distilled water makes zero electricity, so you're going to put it in, but what it's going to do, it's going to really detox you. Better than any water. It's going to detox oxalates, kidney stones, gallstones, fluoridation of the pineal gland. It's going to change a lot of stuff in your system. So when you urinate, try to, you know, as a man, you can pee and make bubbles, and you'll notice that you get a lot of bubbles now, and that's good. So, you know, and also notice, remember, you haven't had any food, okay, let's say from now in 3 days, you're going to notice you're still going to get bubbles out of your body. It's not from food though. It's from oxidation and breaking down. So, you know, today what we'll do is we're going to, you know, start you, and we'll go around just a little bit. It's good for everybody to talk a little bit. It just is. You know, remember, you're inspiring. Someone inspired you to come here, didn't they? Did anybody come here too? Because I like to ask this every time. Is anybody here because they don't want to be here? Was someone pushed you here? Like some father and sons that come here? The father's coming because he's going to watch his son and make sure he does this shit, because he's addicted to whatever it is and such. And, you know, that's a hard group when you get one rotten apple in the barrel there that doesn't want to go, this is dumb, I don't want to do this. Okay? So I think we got a great group here this time, don't you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. Yes.
Yeah, we can tell. So, and a great group just means you guys will be able to dig deep. It's because everybody helps each other. Okay, so one day, if you can, remember, even if you don't feel like doing the yoga and stuff, try to do what you can. And at the end, I guarantee you, you will feel better than when you started. Each time. Everybody did yoga this morning. Did you feel worse than when you started? I'm just talking energy-wise. It didn't take from you. It actually gave you. Okay, so go do the hikes in the morning too. Even though it's going to eat up your energy right now, just a little bit. We're trying to do that. But it's also going to give you energy because you're grabbing free electrons now. Your body's learning how to take a fuel that it didn't know how to take before, because now it's not getting any fuel. So now it can change into the flex fuel machine that it is. It can eat sunlight. It can eat, and the best fasters that we've had here, you're in the sun and you get fed fuel. No sun, it's harder to fast. Sun, full body. It's easy to fast. You're getting nutrients. When you walk around and get grounded, you're getting free electrons. It's still food. It's just not pleasing to your mouth. You won't get hungry, but you will feel empty. And that's a good feeling. So when you're empty, what do? Try to massage your stomach a lot. Try to get in there because it doesn't have anything. Remember, there's 30 feet of hose in there, and we need to soften it up a little bit. So try softening it yourself when you don't have any food. Dr. Nick will go over too, the deep abdominal massage once you're dry inside. So, okay, let's. I'm going to pass this to Dr. Nick, but let the games begin. Okay, and we'll do this same roundup at the end. And I give a spin of that camera and zoom in on everybody just a little bit, because your faces aren't going to be the same. I don't care if you got wrinkles, if you got jowls, or if you got more chins than a Chinese phone book. Okay? As they say. A lot of chins in that Chinese phone book, right? Alex Chin. Okay? Bad joke, I know, but... Okay. Because everything starts to shrink up. And I guarantee you, in 7 days, okay, if we can too, let's take pictures of everybody, just their face. And if you want to, remember, it's just face. If you want to, really good pictures to take is putting the least amount of clothes on as you can. Take a front view picture, pull your arms out from the side, okay? Take back picture, just so we can see what you look like. And you know what happens when you take your next pictures? And it just continues your way. And if you're skinny to start with, that's fine. You're still going to go ahead and get thinner, and you're going to say, shoot, I need to eat. Yeah, I know. But what do you eat? That's the problem. And what do you do with that food? Because you're trying to gain some more muscles. What do you do to transmute that food into muscle that's going to help you? Because if you don't have muscles, because I see a lot of people that are skinny and fat. They're skinny and fat. If you see them in the population, they're skinny, but they're fat. Okay, if you take away the fat, they look like they came out of a prison camp. Okay, so this is where, your body, and we'll get started, is a battery. And your minerals that you're going to take, like I said, if you're tired, it's very important. You're going to sweat, you're going to lose a lot of stuff. You need to put minerals on your body every day and drink it every day, and you shouldn't have a problem at all with fasting. But if you don't have the minerals and don't do any of that stuff, you're taking a chance. You get a heart attack. Why? It's because you're demineralized to start with. What do you think? You came with a full load of minerals? Please. You're already demineralized to start with, so we want to make sure that you have conductivity in your body. And that's the only problem that I always see with fasting with people, is that if they're weak to start with, well, that's fine. You need minerals if you're going to fast. So, okay, let's get around to Dr. Nick here first. And Dr. Nick is the medical supervisor here, medical director, because it is important to have someone checking you as you do this tryout. It is. And it's important for you to actually tell any of us if you're having problems. Okay? Even if it's not sleeping good at night. Doesn't matter. And at night, one last thing. Look, you want to be in the dark. Put something over your eyes at night. I put a sarong, in those little Hawaiian sarongs, or put whatever it is over your eyes so you're in complete darkness, to stimulate your pineal gland again to dream. You will have the most massive dreams here. I guarantee everybody says that. Especially when you get ketosis running in your system. You may even dream of hot dogs. You're going to dream of hamburgers. You're going to dream of some weird stuff. So try to remember your dreams too. It's because it's actually Remember, whatever's going through your head is whatever's drawing out addictively in your system. Because if not, why is your brain thinking of that dumb stuff? It wouldn't think of it otherwise. So, anyways, there we go.
Okay, so I'm Dr. Nick, and I will be helping you to continue through this journey. Now, if I see anything that I don't like and I need to break your fast, then I will inform you. But otherwise, I would encourage you to continue to go through some of these, at times, can be uncomfortable. But if you have any questions, I'm here. I have a lot of experience with water fasting. I've been supervising people water fasting for many years. I also have done a lot of personal water fasting in my own body. So I've done, 32 days is my longest water fast. Done 32 days. I've done 30 days. I've done 21 days. I've done a lot of fasts around the amount of time that you guys will be doing here. And you guys will detoxify at a very high, heavy, fast pace, especially with some of the additional protocols that you can utilize while you're here. So we give you the space, we give you the availability of everything that you may need to be able to really help to heal yourself. And one of the most powerful ways of healing yourself is getting out all of the junk that your body doesn't need. Okay, because when your body gets rid of everything it doesn't need, now your body can function normally. Your liver and other organs can now function at the level that it's supposed to, so that your body can be normal, healthy. So anywhere where there's inflammation in your body, we want to help you to get that inflammation out of your body. Okay? So I know a lot of you are dealing with inflammatory issues, or you're dealing with parasitic issues, or you're dealing with the issues of having a leaky, inflamed bowel, which leads to all of these other symptoms and conditions to result. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. I will allow you to ask any questions right now if you want to, that you would like me to give you any additional information. Otherwise, I'm going to pass it along. No? Good?
You got 21 days to ask him a lot of stuff. You'll come up with things, don't worry.
Okay. So I'm going to introduce you to Jackie. There we
She's
go.
the master yoga. We call her the yoga mama.
Yoga mama.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I will be doing your guys' yoga class and teaching you guys different workshops. I'm a resource to you guys, so any questions you have about any of the protocols, any questions, while you're fasting, you forget a lot. So we understand that, so you're going to ask the same questions a lot, and just know that's to be expected. So Carmen and I are here to totally assist you guys and help you guys with whatever you need to make this experience as comfortable and as pleasant as possible. Yeah, I've done a 7-day fast when I first came out here to help out, so I know a lot what you guys are going through. Yeah, so I have a lot of empathy, and I cater the yoga class to kind of where you guys are in that regard, and really encourage everybody to always show up, even if you have to be in like child's pose during the class. Just knowing that some days you're going to be really weak, and that's okay. But just to be getting the fresh air and hearing some of those breath cues can be really helpful. So just really encouraging everyone to show up as much as possible. is wonderful. And I look forward to getting to know everybody better and hearing everybody's story, because that's really what inspires us. You know, we all have our story of what has really pushed us into health, and typically that comes with being sick and uncomfortable. So I have my own story in that regard, and it pushed me into the health world when I was like 15 years old, not really knowing what I was getting myself into. But once you open Pandora's box, there's really no going back. So, so yeah, I look forward to getting to know everybody better.
How many months, how many retreats have you been with us now?
This is my 5th retreat with here.
And tell them, have you seen the magic?
Yeah, it's amazing. The way people transform from like right now to like later, everybody loses like 15 years.
Exactly.
Their skin, their face, their aura. And you might be a little down energy-wise, but like once you start refeeding, it's like you start to come back to life. And it's just such a beautiful journey to witness everybody go through. So, yeah.
So it's true. All you gotta do is try. So when you're in yoga too, don't just do it, try. Try it, like a child who's always, always really try. You fall off your bike, maybe when you're older you won't get on it again, okay? But when you're younger, you get on that thing until you could go ahead and ride it. So try to really, put in effort, that's all, in anything that you're doing, as much as you feel that you can. That's all, and a little bit more.
Because the yoga is really helping to open up your body, so it's helping to facilitate that detoxification. So any stagnant energy, we're opening that up with those stretches like you experienced with Dr. Nick this morning. And they do get easier as you start to break up that calcification. People are always amazed how much deeper they can go and how much easier it gets. And as it is one of the protocols, it is my goal to show you guys a routine, and every day might be similar and a little different, but to really show you a routine that you can take home and integrate into your own worlds as well. So, yes.
Excellent. And when you're down a little bit, remember, everybody's here to help you. Our energy should try to lift you up a little bit, in a way, okay? We've got Chris here too. Remember, he's our exercise man and outdoor guy, and I help inside too, but mostly he's, so if you're feeling bad, remember the waterfall will snap you out of it. And snap you out of it. Cold water, it's not even that. It's all the oxygen. It's just, remember, you can get energy from that too. So if there's, whatever types of things that you feel that, sometimes when you, see someone else doing something and you can't, so then don't worry about it. Because everyone's at different levels. So just because everybody else is doing it, and if you don't feel like doing it, so don't. Maybe you'll try it later. So, be smart too, because we're all adults. Because a lot of times we do things when we were younger that you shouldn't have done anyways. Okay, you weren't ready for it, so. Okay. Carmen, you want to say that? No.
Next time.
Okay, let's pass this over. Javier. Señor Los Angeles.
Sí. So what should I say?
Well, just, one of the things is like, you came from Los Angeles. And how long have you been starting why do you even want to do it fast?
Well, yeah.
Sick, or do you just want to, I just want to go through the journey?
No, I'm 31, from LA. I'm sick. I have something called prostatitis, which is actually weird that it's not very spoken of, but it's pretty common. It's it affects around some crazy number, 40% of men around the world. And I've been dealing with this illness for a year and 7 months, and I've been to many doctors here in the States, which was no help, and I finally got help in Mexico, out of all places. And even with that, I'm still dealing with it. I'm still trying to, get rid of it completely.
So what did they tell you exactly that you had?
So prostatitis, it's pretty much a foreign body infection in your prostate. I managed to eradicate that, but it still lingers. It's still like a footprint there. So I still have inflammation in my prostate. And it's something that it causes pain 24 hours a day. So along with other symptoms, it's pretty debilitating. It's the last year and a half. My life kind of has been like a standstill. Like I haven't really done much because I haven't been physically or mentally, well to do anything. And actually, because of a friend that I helped out, his name is Robbie. He told me about you guys, and he believed in it like 100%. Like if you do this, you're gonna be okay. And I actually did some more research, and I did a 4-day fast on my own with my friend Robbie. And on the 4th day, I had no symptoms. But as soon as I started refeeding, which I probably didn't do it correct anyways, the symptoms came back. The pain came back immediately. Like after I ate, like 10 minutes later, my pain came back. So I either had a choice to go to a urologist in Athens, Greece, or come here. And I'm kind of over with the whole Western medicine type of thing, so I decided to come here and take a more holistic.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now, I just manage property from home, so nothing too heavy.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because sometimes people that have certain type of sicknesses, sometimes it's your work. Could be, I don't know, could be just a guy working in a Xerox company breathing a bunch of different types of chemicals that specifically will irritate your prostate. Some people working in a plastic factory or whatever it would be, or just construction. You're cutting mercury, all different types of materials and tiles and everything. So, have you done any detoxification before, besides the doctors you went to?
No. It was my first experience when I did the 4 days fast. I never did any type of detox whatsoever, and I was actually a pretty heavy drinker before I got sick, so I wasn't exactly a very healthy person. Even though I'm thin, doesn't mean anything. You can be sick and be thin.
Because you look good.
Yeah.
You don't look sick, so this is where a lot of people are at. He's not sick enough right now where he is in a hospital bed, but he's sick because he doesn't feel good. And if you don't feel good, like you say, pretty much your purpose of life just goes down the drain. Then you get depressed.
Yep.
Then maybe if you're sick, you got to take off all this time. Now you got work problems, job, whatever it would be. So like I said, everyone's got a little story, and it's all unique. I had massive problems. That's why I learned what I did. Dr. Nick had hers. Carmen had hers. Jackie had hers. Everybody does. So, yeah, and usually the protocols that we're going to do is going to take pieces, not just one little piece. It's going to take plastics we'll work on. We're going to work on heavy metals. We're going to work on parasites. We're going to work on remineralization. We're going to work on making your body more liquid from being dense. These are all things that basically your body fixes itself once you sort of clean it out. So, it's not that we're anybody special to treat anybody, because we don't do anything with disease. Your body fixes itself. It's really smart. We learned this in school, called innate intelligence. Once you take a lot of the garbage, especially, you guys remember, we're going to be fasting. That means most of your parasites that eat food, not drink blood, will not be able to poop inside you any longer. So your body is going to get a super clarity to it. Your brain is going to be so clear. It's because you don't have parasite poop swimming in your body, especially when you start doing the saunas, especially when you start learning the enemas, especially when you start doing these protocols, that each one sort of takes a different department. So have you had any treatment that they want to do for you that you say, I don't want to do that?
Yeah, well, the treatment for prostatitis is pretty much just taking, I've taken so many pills. Yeah, I took antibiotics for 5 months, first of all. So that wreaked havoc, I'm pretty sure, on my entire system. But I managed, like I said, to get rid of the bacteria, but still, I'm still on pills.
But it did help for...
It did help, but it got to a point where it's I plateaued and there's nothing helping.
It's not getting better.
No, so...
So do you have problems urinating and everything too?
I constant urination, weak flow, stuff like that.
Like you got to go all the time and you can't go.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of people have this on the other side. Your prostate's working, but your colon's not working. feel like you got to go all the time, and you sit down on the toilet, you push so hard, now you got blood. Whoa. That happened to me a lot because I had massive intestinal problems. So, yeah. Well, it's like I said, this is good for everybody to learn because, you know, how many other people have prostate problems in here? You don't think you do? Yes, you do. And so it's good to go ahead and see other people that have these types of problems, and then what are you going to do to make sure that you don't get any types of problems? You've got to detoxify the prostate. That muscle needs to be rebuilt. Okay, simple way. How are you going to build the prostate muscle up? Well, there's a way when you pee. Okay, how are you going to get all the, you know, every time you wipe your rear end, do you think that paper that you use it's recycled paper? Do you think it's good for you? You smell it, it's got perfume in it, it's got bisphenol A in it, it's shit paper. Okay, it's the worst paper in the world. You think it's brand new paper? No, it's recycled paper. And you wipe your rear end with it. And if you don't have a prostate, it's okay. You just have a smelly butt if you didn't wash it. Okay? But if you have a prostate, all those chemicals and all that stuff that you keep touching right next to, you know, your testes are here, and your anus is here, and the prostate's right in the middle, right underneath that one little tiny thin piece of skin. And this gets super toxified just from wiping your arse with this type of paper. So you gotta wash. This is a big problem for men. Remember, females don't have this. You just wind up having smelly, smelly arse. But a guy, you got problems, is because in time, and then again, why do they have bis A and different chemicals in your toilet paper? Is it a weapon? I don't know. But if you put it next to your prostate, that's not too smart. And if you do use toilet paper, what do you use? No fragrance scented. Okay, that's it. And when you finish, what are you going to do? You got to wash. It's just what it is. So you wipe off any chemicals that are there, because this is one of the biggest problems. Anybody, especially young guys with prostatitis and a lot of different problems. They're just assaults, each one. So
bidet would be a good idea.
Bidets are good.
Oh, yeah.
Bidets are great. I don't have one, so I got a special towel. I wipe your face with it.
Well, and if things are going really right, you really don't need to wipe, right? I mean.
Well, no. I mean, look, no matter what, if you go to the bathroom and you wipe off there, if you did the smell test and you could reach down there, well, it still stinks.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to do a video. It's called, Do You Have DBS? What does that mean? Dirty butt syndrome. And how do you know you have it? Well, the experiment. You put a little piece of poop here, you wipe it as good as you can with the toilet paper, and then you give the sniff test, because you can't. Ooh, it still smells. I know. Well, you wiped your rear end just as good as that, maybe even better here, still in the pores. Okay, and this is where a lot of people, they wind up getting prostatitis. Okay, you got parasites inside yourself, and now you have all these different things. You've irritated everything's living. Inflammation usually means something's eating it. And everybody's going to lose a lot of inflammation, no matter what you got. How many other people have prostate problems here? Think of it. If you're over 50, 50% of you have prostate cancer already. If you're over 60, 60% at 60 have prostate cancer. Isn't it so? Oh, you're 70, 70% have prostate. You don't die from it unless you treat it. You die with it. Okay? So, how old are you?
52.
52% chance of having prostate cancer on your way right now. It's already there. What is that? It means the thing's clogged. So each of these systems that we're going to go through, cleaned your kidneys lately? EDTA will help you with that. Cleaned your intestinal tract lately? Intestinal protocols will help with that. And then remineralize. How many people have taken antibiotics here? We know he's taken 5 months worth. Okay? You need to rebuild your biome. And it's not just with vegetables. It's not just with ferments. There's a biome that needs to be rebuilt. Okay, so, yeah, and this is good for everybody just to learn a little bit, because everybody's got friends that have these same exact problems. And a lot of people don't want to tell anybody, hey, it's courageous, I got a prostate problem. Whoa. Okay.
Oh, it's like I said, it's actually very, very common. You'd be extremely
Is it really?
surprised, and it's all like from 20 to like 35,
You
the
see
age
that?
group, from like 28 to like 35.
Did you ever hear of that, guys? Those older guys? You didn't even hear of that.
And
Got
this-
a venereal disease,
and-
maybe, or infection, but that's it. Nothing with that.
And this was from my doctor, who says that most of his patients are my age, like, you know,
see?
and with my illness. So it's actually extremely, extremely common. It's just, I guess, like you said, it's like just not spoken about. It's just,
Okay, and then number one, remember, we went over our frequencies a little bit with this. If you've got our frequencies in your system here and you got a problem and you need to regenerate, do you really think you're going to regenerate with that noise I showed you with this thing here? You can't hear it, but your body does, and it can't function at all with bzzz, like this, because the cells are being smacked. Remember, it's pulse technology, and your body runs on a sine wave. It runs on like current, not. The body runs on a sine wave, smooth up and down current, as all of nature does. You breathe in and you breathe out, not. Okay, that's pulsed. So just one assault could give a variety of problems with a group of people. You guys are in this electronic age, and you guys are destroying yourselves. See, look at his age group. Why are they sick? And he doesn't look
Their
sick.
cell phones.
Yeah, he doesn't even
Back
look
pocket
sick.
or your front pocket, right by there.
Yeah.
This is what it is. I'm just telling you. You have herbicides here that we're going to get into. This is the number one thing that I see people. Everybody's got gut problems here. Everybody does. And if you don't, you're lying. Everybody does. And you know, number two is RF frequencies. You need to reduce your system. And if you think that it's not going to hurt you, again, you need to look at the deeper research. Just because right now you're trying to step up to another level of health. And just those two things, herbicides and RF frequencies, is the top of your list to learn. Okay, and navigate. That's it. Because if not, just, you know, Don, right?
No, Dan.
Dan. I got a D though. I got it almost close. Okay, because you were asking, what is there to do if we have all this stuff? What? I know. It's called navigate. Because all the good stuff you do, if you don't change just a few things, I'm not going to say you're wasting your time, but you're not going to be optimal. And you're probably going to drop out because it didn't work for you in any way in the next 6 months. Remember, the next 6 months, you're changing your whole life to be able to take new fuel in, because it's so dry, and all you're doing is just refeeding it, and it grows magnificent, just like a plant. Same thing. So, all right, it's all right. Talk too much. I had my chocolate today.
There you go.
Okay. Ready? So, my name's Doe Renee, and oh my gosh, where do I start? I've always known I got ill in the early 90s, and didn't know what it was. Long story short, Lyme, and I've always known that, or I've come to know that I can do this through food and because I've been to so many doctors, I can't even tell you, and some of the best doctors. And the protocols are, one of the most famous doctors I've been to is Dr. Klinghardt, and the protocol is very long, it's complicated, and I was trying to work and couldn't do it. I just couldn't manage it all. And I just keep getting that it's just going to be easier. It doesn't have to be so hard, and that's part of why I'm here. Is I feel like with these simple protocols, my body will do what it needs to do to heal. But it's taken me a long time to figure this out. Though I've known, what I have known, and I've been really clear on, is that I can get through this, and I just can get to radiant health again. But how do I do it? So that's part of why. That's why I'm here. And and then I've got the load. I've got the I've got cavitations, and I know I've got parasites. I've had 3 cavitation surgeries. So in my jawbone, I have everything. I mean, the last 2, I had 3 pages of lab results from everything from parasite eggs to staph to strep in my cavitation.
Tell everybody what cavitation is. Most of you people don't even know. What's
Okay.
cavitation? When you go to the dentist and he doesn't take your wisdom teeth out right. Or something like that.
Right. So when I was in my 20s, I had my wisdom teeth out, or like late teens actually. And if they don't do it properly, and they don't seal that, if it doesn't heal properly, then that is
Well, they have to take out this ligament called the periodontal ligament. You got to burr that dude out. They usually just cut it, yank out, like they did mine. I had to get mine re-burred. And I had cavitations too, all the time. Feeling my throat always swollen here, and just not right.
right.
Okay, so cavitations are when you take your wisdom tooth out, you're supposed to burr out the periodontal, around the tooth, the ligament. So the tissue will grow back completely instead of grow back and you have a little pus ball in there, and it turns into the most nastiest pus you could ever, parasites, whatever can live in that little hole, and then it goes and affects whatever tooth it is, which is an organ, and it goes and affects now your organs inside.
The rest of your body.
Constantly poisoning you every day and poisoning you, and you get sick because your immune system's getting whacked every day.
And I think and Lyme is like that. Lyme will go wherever you're weakest. So if I didn't have that weak link, because I know people who have Lyme and are not symptomatic, but I had this very weak link, and I still do. And so I need to have I don't know. I mean, it would be great if I could change the environment. And I believe that once we change the environment, then this stuff will go away. But I don't know if that's true in my job.
Well, there is. There's iodine you can put in there. There's lots of things that you can put in to be able to push it through in there to diffuse whatever we can put into the cavitation too.
So
Remember, just soft tissue.
So to the degree that I might not have to have another surgery?
Well, you could at least go ahead and calm things down. The cavitation, first of all, you need to fix.
Right.
And everybody here, how many people have had their wisdom teeth taken out? I bet you 50% of you have cavitations, and because we all got this, and the dentist back then didn't take out the periodontal ligament. And most likely, you have a small little bubble in there, and on some people, they'll notice it. And most people, they will just get sick doing this. They won't know where it's coming from. Headaches, dizzy, whatever it would be, just
Your
whatever.
heart, I mean,
Heart
everything's, every tooth is connected to some organ, right? So anyway, so I hope I can calm that down by something I'm learning here, and the parasites, I can just feel, I can feel it draining into me a lot.
You feel a lot of drain.
I do. It's better, but so, and then the parasites are huge for me. I just think they can control a lot in us, our brains, our minds.
They're demons.
They're demons. They are, and when I have them under control, I'm so much better. But when they're out of control, it's like I'm not myself. So I'm looking forward to working on that. And what else? And as far as this R frequency issue, in my job, I have my phone in my hand all the time. And I totally feel like it's affected my brain and my ability to think straight. Parasites will do that too. But I think I've just gone to another level where I have to work so hard to make things happen in my life.
So you used to use the phone up like this all the time?
No, it's been years since I've done that, but I still had it in my hand.
But you're talking on it like this?
Yes.
And if I use my meter, it's still
Right.
radiating you, not as much as completely here, but within like 1 foot.
Right.
It's not just pinpoint, it's the whole thing. You get a lot of different problems, from...
Right.
And so, this is what it is. Everybody's got parasites here. Remember, body fat's a parasite. Everyone's got skin fungus. So what, you're just going to break, one piece at a time. Level 1, skin fungus. Level 2, body fat. Level 3 is a thin person with a belly that sticks out through here, and it's a guy, so he's not pregnant. Okay? He's pregnant with a bunch of these creatures. Okay? And you're going to poop some out, and if you do, what do? Flush it down? Yeah, in time. Pictures. If it's a good one, put it in a jar. Let's see it. I want to see it. Remember, I need some trophies here. We had some people pull out some beautiful trophies. Everybody here has the rope parasite. I guarantee you everybody here has the beef tapeworm. Everybody here has the pork tapeworm. Everybody here has the fish tapeworm. And it's taken years and years and years for these things to go ahead and grow. Remember, they grow for a year. So you may lose little pieces. Oh, I pooped out that parasite. You got a lot more. One cockroach in the kitchen, you got many more.
When I was first diagnosed, finally in 2010, I was properly diagnosed with Lyme, and I did go to an LLMD, a Lyme literate MD. She ran, and I just got lucky. She did a parasite test, and they happened to be hatching, because parasite tests can be useless.
Depends on which type they do, too, for sure.
Right. So I was shedding 500,000 tapeworms a day.
There you go. Tapeworm has massive amount, they're called replicators, like a fish in the ocean. fish in the ocean, they all replicate of 100,000 plus eggs at a time. They're replicators. It's the same with these parasites. Replicators. A third of your poop, when you're, I won't say infested with parasites, when you are inhabited with parasites, could be a third of your poop eggs. Eggs. A third. Okay? So, yeah, this is where you're not here to kill a lot of stuff. You're here to dry everything out. Everything that basically can't live with food, it just leaves you. Once we dry out all of these simple types of parasites, look, roundworms in your belly basically eat processed food. If you don't feed them, they just die. And you'll feel sick. You may even throw up. The bloodsuckers, the rope parasite, they're not dying. They swim around in your stomach there and move with jet propulsion. They move. You hear your stomach burr, burr, burr. Smell some food. You're going to smell some food, let's say, whatever you go to heal. Yeah, your parasites, they think they're going to get fed. So once you go through, the higher level of parasite cleaning, it's only because you got rid of most of the ones on the lower levels. Because if you start doing these parasite bombs, like the oregano, any of these, you may wind up just getting sick because what you're doing is you're wiping out too many things too quick and your body can't process this stuff. So this is why we only start the, oregano. How long, Carmen? 7 days. Why? Because I know that you guys basically have got rid of most of the things that can't handle food, and we're not going to make it throw up. But we can give this to you in the beginning if you want to try, if you've been fasting already. If you've already been doing this detox for a couple of years, well then you're more advanced than people that are just starting. So who's advanced here?
I'd like to hit it harder.
Yeah. And the first 3 days we don't do nothing though, is because we want to get you through the hump. Then after that we can play a little, especially with people that are more in this, that's already been here. Brand new people, you wait until 7 days to get rid of as much as you can, and then you can go ahead and hit it hard. But even though, the first thing all you guys are going to do right now anyway is you're going to take hydrogen peroxide. You're going to take 35% hydrogen peroxide. It's liquid oxygen, 3 drops 3 times a day, and we'll work our way up in the protocol, and that's going to oxidize the parasite poop that lives in your body. That's it. That's all it does. Gives you oxygen, you get a little high, get oxygen high. But it's going to oxidize, that's what it does. It eats poop. If you put it on blood, what does it do? Bubbles up, it takes blood stains out of your clothes, doesn't it? Hydrogen peroxide? Wine stains. It's a real good oxidizer. So what it does is, first thing it oxidizes is poop. That's all. So try to do, that is as effective as we'll show you how to do that. It's really easy to do.
So the ropeworm, is that the hardest, would you say, to
The
get?
ropeworms, just because that's what I wanted to say too. Ropeworms go hand in hand with a spirochete called limes. Hand in hand. All you guys probably have this thing called Lyme's disease. So you think you don't? You should just maybe smart enough, somebody went ahead and did a certain test to say you got spirochetes. And you guys can maybe transfer it by whatever way you want. It doesn't just come from ticks. It doesn't come from just mosquitoes maybe. It comes from something that transfers blood and or liquid to you.
Yeah,
so
they're
people
saying
can transfer too.
Tears or even sexually.
Yeah, no, people transfer, so everyone's got this. It goes into your nervous system, and it can cause you a lot of problems that you will never find out what it is. You'll go to the doctor, you're going to get treated for a ton of stuff, the magic pill, give it a try, and see if it goes away. And you find out that these are things, they're called incurable diseases because they just keep getting autoimmune deficiency syndromes just because your immune system is dead. It's constant. So
Anyway, I'm looking forward to change and
All right.
radiant health.
That's why we're here.
Well, hi, my name is Karen, and I don't really have a lot of health issues that I know about, but I'm here mainly because I want to learn a lot. I want to enhance what we're doing. I want to do it with my husband. But one thing I want to touch on is I'm going through menopause, and I'm going to say it because it might help somebody out there, is that, everything's dry. Sex is uncomfortable. I go to the doctor, they give me estrogen and progesterone, and that's like horrible. I put the estrogen in my vagina, and I got an infection. So I'm like, I don't want to do this. So that's another reason, because I'm like, I need a detox because something's going on. I don't want to be like another middle-aged woman taking estrogen and progesterone. So
Why'd you go so dry so quick? That's the question.
yeah, exactly.
That's not
Like
supposed to be.
Right, like it's like, wow.
Okay, that's your hydraulic fluid is empty in your car. It's not the oil that's swimming in your blood, but your body has certain things certain oils in your system and you know, anybody that has this problem too, females, cacao butter. Put that thing in there, big ball of it, okay? Castor bean oil. Fix that thing. Castor bean oil is the most liquidy, thickest type of solution, okay? And that actually is also a disinfectant. Coconut oil. Okay, so any of these estrogen, I don't know why you want to take that. You got enough estrogen as it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Why do you want more? So wait, start speaking. Remember, you get addicted to hormones. You get hormones, and your body's in misbalance by a chemical hormone. And one hormone adds, another one has to take away. Oh, how does anybody know when you have low hormones? Because you took one blood test, maybe?
Right.
Really? What? Did you do a series of them, or just one told you the magic number? Because the blood only tells you that time, specifically. So, yeah, anyways, most of the things that can be solved, you got to try first without medication, without any types, because if not, then you're on the hamster wheel.
Right, I don't want to take medication for anything.
Then you got to remember, they're not medication, they're synthetic chemicals. And the doctor does not know what it is. He reads the journal made by the manufacturer, and the rep that comes in with the lipstick on, got it pushed up there, she's the one that turned him on to this synthetic chemical. And if you do good with us, maybe at the end of the year we'll get you a couple-week vacation, you can go fishing or something.
What about the bioidentical? Are those better?
What's that?
The bioidentical hormones, are those better?
They're doing they use a pregnant horse's urine.
No, but that's not the bioidentical.
Okay.
No, bioidentical is different.
Well, again, once you start playing around with your hormones, you're playing around with how your physiology repairs itself, how it actually activates itself. Remember, one hormone activates maybe another hormone. The thyroid stimulating hormone activates maybe your pituitary gland to go ahead and do this. The pituitary gland activates the liver to say, hey, kick some stuff out. I mean, this machine is so genius, like you said, it's innate. So, yeah.
So we can get to health with our hormones naturally.
Well, again, the only way I see people get into health is to really learn about herbicides, because that's usually the biggest assault, and learn about our frequencies. Because if not, what are you trying to do? When you have those two big assaults, you know, how do you think that's going to really help, you know, what you're doing? It's because if you think it, you know, is going to help you, well, then, of course, you better be as smart as you can by taking away the highest assaults that you can, that you know, that causes the biggest physiology changes. RF frequency and herbicides, the biggest physiological changes. Herbicides in the belly castrates the testosterone of males and females, okay? And then all of a sudden now you have estrogen bumps. Now you have prostatitis maybe. All the guys will check and see if you have buds in your boobies. See if you have little buds. Are you trying to feed children? You're not supposed to have buds there. Why do the men have them? Right around the areolar tissue. And you should be able to pinch that thing hard. Shouldn't be anything in there. And I noticed that when we do test this on people, I'll show you how it works, but it's the people from like London and the UK and Europe. They got the biggest ones I've ever seen. They don't even want to show anybody. They won't even take off their shirts because they got man boobs. And they're not fatties. They just got man boobs. High estrogen. I've seen this a lot from people from Europe. Okay? So whatever it is, remember, it's in your food, it's in your water. Now your job is to slow down whatever's getting in, but your job is now how to get it out. So that's why you guys are all here. It's just to lower as many toxicities as you can. So your body maybe can be smart enough to say, hey, I can get back in gear again and refix this thing before it becomes like a car where you can't really repair it anymore. You gotta junk it.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this journey, and I'm excited to do it with everybody that I've met. and excited to do it with my husband.
And that's beautiful. You guys are here.
Yeah.
It keeps you together.
It's awesome. Yeah, I want him to be on my page a little bit more, and he's so open and willing that he's like, yeah, I'll come. It's
We're both on the
awesome.
same page because you guys both have your own individual things you got to do.
Right.
You guys can both go ahead and decrease number 2. That's parasite number 2 is body fat. So what? Yeast, mold, fungus, candida.
Right.
Piece of cake. That's the easiest one. And you said you're not sick, right?
That I know about.
So you can dig deep.
Yeah.
It's when you're sicker and you feel that you've got something wrong, you got a little bit more careful because you're more sensitive a lot of times. Especially since maybe you had whatever medications they've given you. Look, 5 months of antibiotics,
Yeah.
you know he can't digest nothing. Nutritionally,
Right.
okay? Because it's wiped out. So your specific problem is everybody's problem here. Everybody's got gut issues. Everybody. So this is why we always try to rebuild the gut wall flora. Because the detox is one thing, but if you don't fix the flora here, then you can't. Remember, the gut wall flora is how you get nutrition into your body. The bacteria break down your food, not your belly.
I'm definitely interested in that too, because I've done a couple water fasts on my own, a couple 10-day water fasts, but refeeding, I totally didn't know what I was doing.
That's okay. But at
Yeah.
least you did the water fast.
Yeah.
So you can, at least break that. Most people haven't even fasted for a day.
Yeah.
Forget about it anymore. So as long as you can break a day or two of anything, then pretty much easier
Yeah.
after that.
So it was good.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to pass it
Very good.
on to Mr. Dan.
So I'm sure it's hooked together. There we go.
Excuse me.
His detox.
I used to be. A couple weeks ago, I was a little sick.
the giant.
Yeah. Yeah.
The gentle giant.
Gentle giant. I guess. I don't know. Where do I start? I think my parents. I just grew up, especially in the last 10 or 15 years, seeing my parents age at an accelerated rate. My mom's always been, obese and overweight, and so I just, I wanted to do so much for them, and yet it was hard for me to see them not doing anything for themselves. I mean, they tried the vegetables and having a stir fry, and so I knew in the back of my head that, if I was going to do anything for myself now, and then this was in my 40s and 45 years, that I needed to do something. What I do now is what is going to affect my quality of life when I'm their age, and then it hit me one day. I had a huge AFib episode. Put me in the hospital. I was just rolling around a tire, putting snow tires on, and next thing I know, I'm sitting in the hospital hooked up with all kinds of electrodes, and they're checking my heart and everything else, and my electrolytes, and I'm looking there at my wife, Karen, who's like, I'm white as a ghost, but I'm looking at her, and she was white as a ghost because she was afraid of, what could happen. And so at that point, I, followed the Western protocol and, went to the cardiologist, and he said, you need to take this medication. And I was like, well, what is it? And he had to try to figure out how to tell me. I mean, he's looking at the package, and I'm like, well, what is the success rate of this? And I'm pretty vigilant. I just don't take stuff. And I'm pestering him, and I said, what is it? What's the success rate? Do you know the success rate? No, he couldn't tell me that. And and I'm like, you're telling me that AFib could have been, exacerbated by my nutrition and my water and my sleep and all these things, but you can't tell me what kind of nutrition upgrades I can do to actually avoid the risk next time. So it just didn't make any sense. And so anyway, I didn't take any of the prescribed medication. I just went on a mad dash and tried to learn everything I could, from European studies to Scandinavian studies on AFib and the heart health, and found some good information. And
Confusing too.
And confusing. I mean, just like
A lot of different
so many theories, and yeah, and so many that, you know, that didn't have any backing or didn't have any research, and
Or they're selling you something at the very end.
yeah,
Through a
yeah,
secondary company that's hired to go ahead and actually review this, but it's the same company, but here you go.
yeah. And my dad had it. He didn't do anything. He didn't walk. He didn't exercise, and it would affect him like. Every time he'd get up in the morning, it felt like he ran a marathon. You know, he was getting up. So he had AFib. My uncle had AFib. He was an athlete, and it didn't even faze him. So I knew there was something I could do that could beat it, and or, you know, at least keep it in a minimum.
So explain to them what AFib is, because a lot of people, you know what it is because you've been playing.
Yeah, atrial.
How does it feel? Do you know?
It's called atrial fibrillosis. You know, if I can say it right. And fibrillation, and it's when the heart does a double beat, or it does a fast flutter, and so it gets out of sync with your breathing, and it gets out of sync with the electrical pulses, which may kind of be crossed, like a crossed wire, you know.
Feels like it's skipping a beat, like it's all of a sudden not on its. You can feel it.
Yeah, and at least when I had my episode, I felt like, well, was this a heart attack? You know, it was like, you know. I mean, I remember the walk-in clinic said, you know, you looked relaxed. You look relaxed now, but it shows that you have a heart rate of 180 beats per minute, you know. And I was like, they think, well, maybe you should go to the emergency room. Like, okay. But so, to make a long story short, I took care of my sleep. There were some certain things I did. I took care of certain things in my nutritional habits, and I just pretty much put AFib away. And I was like, you know, the things that I learned and stuff, and so fast forward a couple more years, and I realize I'm seeing people affected by this AFib and other things, like everywhere, and I just thought, you know,
And you're a young guy.
I'm a young guy. I actually met a guy that was 74, and the guy, he was Danish. His name was Leif, you know, spelled life, and the guy was a dynamo, and I'm like, what is it about, you know, I want to be like that, you know, when I'm his age, and so I'm thinking, I've got to learn, I've got to find out more about how this amazing miracle machine that we all have, like how it can run in its self-healing mode, you know, and so, you know, fast forward a few more years, and now I'm with Karen, and we're learning about the sauna that we just got, and we, you know, what do we know? What else do we need to know about the sauna? And so we find this little video on the sauna, and Dr. Cassar, you know, like, who is this guy, you know? And then he's always everybody up. I know, and I'm like, well, you know, maybe let's go learn. And she
Well,
was
you found the video. He bought the sauna like 2 years ago when he had the AFib. He's like, you know, he read that book, Detox or Die.
yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, we got to get a sauna. So he goes and gets a sauna, and then I'm like, well, let's look up sauna. And then you were on a video, because there's not very many people, and I'm like, you're doing gua sha. I'm like, that looks like, I'm not going to do that shit. That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not going to do that shit. Then a year goes by, and I'm like, I want to do a water fast. Can we go in the sauna when we water fast? I don't really know. So then I go back. Your face popped up again. And I was like,
Right.
and then I was like, well, wait a minute. And then I was interested, and so was he. I'm like, oh my God, he's like, okay, I'm interested.
Yeah.
And then more interested, then, you know, it goes on from there. So
Because sometimes, depending on what video you see, because sometimes they'll turn you away.
well, yeah, you're not ready. I'm like, oh yeah, no, what's
And
that?
if it's something that's real simple, then
Yeah.
the other protocols all of a sudden don't seem as weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, the atrial fib, how long have you had that now? Since...
Well, I only had one episode, and
How long was it, though?
that was 3 years ago.
Okay, look, I used to have that all the time. You know what's in your heart? You got heartworms, too. You don't think you do? Got dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You ever had heartworms in your dog? All the dogs do. Okay? So, you ever worm your dogs? Remember, everything your dog has, pretty much you do. Licking you on the face, licking your arm, okay? You got cats, got toxoplasmic gondii in your brain too. Okay, so these are all different types of things that actually, look, RF frequency makes my heart, makes it feel like all of a sudden, like, because I normally can't feel my heart. And when it does that, it's like, whoa. And it used to do this to me all the time. It used to scare me. This was when I was like 20. And I had no idea. You know, another thing too, demineralization. You don't have the conductivity. Your heart makes conductivity. It needs these ionic minerals. Have you been taking minerals? And you're a big dude. Remember that. You need more minerals than, well, than me. I'm a little guy. Do you take any mineral supplements, ionic mineral supplements at all? Have you ever done that? Anybody told you for your heart?
Just magnesium, from what I've learned, just magnesium, right?
Okay. And how'd you take it though? In a pill or did you take it in a
Liquid.
The liquid?
The liquid, yeah.
Okay.
We use your liquid.
Yeah, because it's the only ones that
Yeah.
work. The other ones are just
I'm
basically
like-
rocks. They
Right.
don't. You can't digest a rock, so you have to. It has to be an ionic form.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of people with this same type of thing, and it's also a combination. Could be parasitic. Causes a lot. You know, look up heartworms and look and see if humans get them. You bet you they do. Parasites, and they bore little holes in your heart. Okay, and they start making the tissue. So when it starts bumping, it's like got something like on it all the time, and it has to really work a lot harder because it won't flex. So I've had a lot of good people, you know, especially myself, my brother, same thing. Heart fibrillation. You go through all these protocols, it just disappears. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just excited to detox and kind of get down to a nice clean level of, you know, energy and vitality, you know.
Well, like I said, everybody here, especially once you're over 40 years old, see, he's a young'un. He's just going to look more like a model, GQ.
Yeah,
this guy's pretty GQ. He'll be like a GQ too. Okay, get the jaw, everything gets real tight, like Dr. Nguyen. Remember him? He looked like he was a little model after he left here, okay? So all your inflammation goes down. So this is what you guys will notice. You just lose so much inflammation that's in your lymph system that's clogging your system up. So then it gives, like you said, the space for your body to maybe see if it can fix things without trying to think that you're the doctor taking one thing is going to help it. Remember, you're just taking simple stuff away that you know that's not good for you. I don't care if it's heavy metals, I don't care if it's plastic, I don't care if it's parasites. And then you're going to really be smart to refeed your system with the correct fuels so your system only gets what it needs. And it fixes itself pretty easy from there. Just does. But there's got to do the work. So you guys are here, which means you can do the work. Yeah, most people can't do any of this at home. That's a joke.
Oh my goodness.
You don't have the discipline to do anything at home.
I don't-
Appropriation's not ready. You're really bugging. Smell the foods coming in.
Oh goodness, I
Whatever
don't have
it is.
much to say.
It's just hard
Just-
to do. Okay. Where are you from first? You travel long ways a day.
I came from Pennsylvania,
Yeah, exactly. So that's like
Yeah.
12 hours, right?
13 hours.
13 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had 2 stopovers. Yeah. So my name
So
is.
you must have just really wanted to come here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. I think it's my last straw, you know. My name is Dulcie, and I've been suffering for 58 years and going from doctors to doctors to doctors, and I'm taking right now about 40 to 50 supplements. Everyone is giving me something different. And wherever I go, don't take that one, take this one. Okay, that one help you. Don't take that, take this. I've been from, and all is naturopathic doctor, everyone, but everyone has a different thing saying, well, that is not that, that is not that. But now that I think about it, for 58 years of suffering from, I would say, gas, bloating, constipation, memory loss, forgetfulness, tiredness, weak, can't function, and just going along, not living, just going along. Yeah, I'm just like floating, that's all. I can't be a human being. And I'm tired of being just wasting away and not being able to live my life. And I don't know how I came across to Dr. Cassar and the thing, and he looked so scary because he's so, like going after this thing. And I'm like, okay, maybe he can help me, because I'm tired of living like this. I'm taking about 40 things a day and not seeing any relief. And then on top of that, you have to keep going, and you have to take another thing, and there is no difference in my body. I mean, the gut is leaking so bad that everything from my body is going all over, is just spreading all over, and that's what making me like I'm all mixed up. I can't think properly. I can't sleep properly. I can't be a happy person, and nothing, because I'm suffering internally and externally too. So I am here. I think it's the last straw. I am here. I don't care if I have to fast for I don't know when, but I'm here to get better because I want to live. I have gone to the last that I haven't lived my life at all. My entire life has just gone in front of me without being able to live and be happy. And I want to be happy. I want to live. I want to be able to say, today is a good day. But when you have all this thing going internally, and you just got to think about what's happening. You can't focus on what's going on outside. And I'm here to get better. No. That's what I'm here for. I don't care what it takes. I'm here to get better. And I think I will. And if Dr. Cassar can help me, and Dr. Nick and everyone in this retreat, I am all in for it. Because everybody, all the doctors that I go to, and all my family, all my friends, everybody know I'm suffering a lot. And I want, when I go back from here, I want that everyone, even the doctors, they'll see that what I was telling them and they didn't address it, it was addressed, and I'm a different person. And I want that for myself, and I want when I leave here and go, that whoever I meet, I will let them know that there is a cure, there is a fix, and there is somebody that can help you. Nothing is impossible, that it can be done. And I know I will get that help here. I'm positive.
And she didn't want to talk.
She's got it.
Beautiful. Look, hey, she's got so much energy, okay, which is what you need to regenerate. You need the will to want to, okay? You just do. And so everybody here has the will to want to do what? To dry out, okay? To dry out. And that's not easy to do.
I haven't tried anything, Nobody told us, well, do massages or do sauna or do, enemas or nothing. All they give you is something to take, and where it goes in and comes out. That's all. But it's not addressing anything.
Yeah, so they just, basically, you went to naturopathic doctors, you went to medical doctors too?
I went to medical doctors too, but most I try to steer towards
more natural.
And all I take is pills. It goes and comes up, but nothing is addressing the tissues, the organs, or nothing. And I kept going in this roller coaster all the time.
So this is what happens a lot of times from any type of doctor, allopathic, I don't care what type of doctor you go to most of the time. There is no sometimes way. In an emergency situations, doctors have saved my life many times in the emergency hospital. But when you've got a chronic condition over time,
it's chronic.
Yeah, these are things that a magic pill may help you so you could manage it to start something. But they are never there to cure you, because the medication is to manage you, not to cure. They specifically say there are no cures. In fact, the cure word in the state of California, if you're a doctor, is a felony even to say in your practice. There's no cures. Okay, so the idea is just like what everybody's doing. Look, like I told you, everyone's got their own individual story. That's very important. And I mean, like I said, you only came here because, again, one of these crazy videos that we showed you.
Yes.
Okay. And she didn't want to talk before, but you have such, remember, a good story. What you were saying to me, everybody complains, Dr. Nick, everything she was pretty much talking about, all the complaints you have is pretty much, I tell you, across the board, general, even for 30-year-old guys. Okay? Tired, my stomach hurts, I wake up in the morning, I feel like I don't want to do anything, feel like all of a sudden my whole day in my body, my mind is in misery, and I don't want to live anymore, because if this is what life's about, I don't think I want to live that much longer. Okay? It's like suffering. So, you know, this is what I see with everybody. Look, again, you're only here for a reason, is to change it up. So, and changing it up is not just detoxification. And I see a lot of people just doing detoxing, and they're not doing any of the other things because they fall apart. And I used to do that a lot too, because I was into a lot of things. I wasn't, you know, understanding the picture that I see today. So, all right, that was, you know, and again, fasting, remineralization, detoxification, rejuvenate, all these pieces, they're just pieces. There's not one piece. And the pills do have a special place. Okay? They could be natural pills, they could be pharmaceuticals, synthetic medicines, but if they can help you get stable, then that's when it's time for you to start to work and become your own doctor yourself. And becoming your own doctor doesn't mean you're going to be a doctor, it means you're going to be your own teacher. And you're going to learn how to take some things out of your system, put some in, and we'll see what this machine does. Like you said, this is an incredible machine. Or at least it used to be. So, all right, sorry. Your turn.
Nice to meet everybody. A lot of good energy in the room. Where do I start? My name is Todd. I'm 52 years old. I think my story began in 2012. Had a very busy lifestyle, a lot of work travel. Really stressful. On top of that, I still thought I was invincible, and I was competitively cycling. So besides all my work travel and everything else, and a horrible standard American diet and 6 to 10 Diet Cokes a day, I trained 3 to 4 days a week. So it was June of 2012. I went from being this guy, and in 1 week I was half that guy. And I went to doctors, and they tested me for everything. Oh, nothing's wrong. My parents had started kind of more of the natural doctoring method, so I think it was 3 months later, my dad said, why didn't you try my Chinese guy? He's natural. I went in and saw him. He did a reflex test. He looked at my tongue, and he says, I'm going to do a couple tests. I think you have adrenals or thyroid. He was right. I had adrenal exhaustion. I had almost nothing being produced, and my thyroid was also affected. So, blessing and a curse, he put me on hydrocortisone and Armour Thyroid, and then 2 weeks later, that was fantastic. So, great. I was feeling better, but what did I do? I went right back to my hard driving lifestyle, and I bumped along for 2 years, and I told him I was motivated. And he's like, look, he looked at me, he goes, I have 10 patients just like you, you're triple type A, you got to back it off. And so I kind of recalibrated my work schedule, took a little bit easier, started focusing on my diet.
So you were still taking the medication all the time?
Still taking it for about 18 months.
So
and
you
then
started, you never stopped. Once you
never
started,
stopped.
you got on, you said, okay, this is doing good.
Then I started making life changes, and I started weaning off and was feeling good about it. And then eventually got all off. And then probably about a year later, the person I was dating said, hey, you're falling back into your thing. I saw this natural thyroid doctor. He happens to be in my hometown. Why don't you try it? Went, started doing some detoxification stuff, got me off medication again. I really made more significant changes then. So I really cleaned up my diet, really backed off to a normal 50-hour work week, and really worked hard at it. I own an infra mat. I have a PEMF mat. He did lots of detox stuff through supplements, and it was crazy what came out of me. So since that time, for probably the last 3 or 4 years, it's the wonderful internet. I am digging into trying to be what's the optimal diet. I'm backing off of supplements. I don't want to take $5,000 worth of supplements a year. So I'm here because I saw a YouTube video, and I kept digging into your YouTube videos, and I went, it's kind of more simplistic. It's back to the basics. And I think when you turn 50, it hit me about 6 months later, you start seeing the end for the first time. I always felt like I was 25 when I was running fast, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm on the second 9. I'm on the back 9. So I started looking out at the future and going, I don't want to be that person that is immobile and inflexible and whatever. So I've been searching for the optimal diet and what I can do to improve my health. And it feels like the right thing to do a deep down detox, and then really get more information and consolidate. There's so much information on the internet, it drives you crazy. And so
And most of it's a lot of disinformation.
it is.
A lot of it. So it confuses you to make you so you really don't want to do much because you don't know, a lot of times.
So I retired in December, and I thought this was the perfect time for me to kind of do a reset and create a life that I want. And I have the time and energy to focus on this. And I'm looking forward to interesting time learning as much as I can. And then again, I've done a few of the protocols. I've done the skin cleaning. I've done iodine and fulvic acid and eating a lot better. But I think to come here for 21 days and to live it and to get into the ferments and stuff like that, I can watch the YouTube video, and I'm just not that guy. I'm not going to sit and build this stuff in my kitchen. So I want to come here and experience it, and I think perhaps I will take it on when I leave here.
What kind of work did you do before you?
I ran a
retired?
securities broker-dealer, so I was a CEO with
High stress.
200 people, 80,000 air miles a year, 20 to 25 weekends a year on the road, and a horrible diet, too much
You
entertaining.
exercise a lot too, right?
And I exercise. They say you can't exercise through a bad diet. I did till I was about 45, and now I'm same thing. I feel estrogen dominant. I feel I've got more fat than I've ever had before, and I'm just going to take this opportunity to kind of do a reset and choose a different lifestyle.
But this morning, we were stretching a little bit. This guy, remember, he's with 52, right? He stretches better pretty much than anybody I was looking there. Okay? And it's because you've done a lot of work. Yes, you have. Yeah. So guys, at his level, because when you first started out, stretching and doing anything helps a lot. But once you've been doing this for a while, like I helped you stretch a little bit, that helped, didn't it? Get you over the hump. So everybody's at different levels. So you can push yourself way more. I can already see that. Okay? You got more muscle mass too on you, so you can catabolize yourself really good and fast pretty decent. You may lose 15, 20 pounds, but then you come back with 100% pure. So a lot of people that would come here too, you see a lot of guys that have pretty decent muscle. Then on the 14th day, they get all skinny and looking wimpy. And then when I haven't seen them in 6 months, all their muscles are full. Everything is rebuilt better. So if you go back to your old ways, like you said, all you do is sometimes you'll get worse. Yeah, you will.
There is no way that you have a friend 52 years old who looks like you. You look very young.
Thank you.
And plus you
Especially
receive,
from the Midwest, Appleton, Wisconsin. No way.
That means you're
I
on
bet
your
all
cell
your
phone.
friends are looking way.
Yeah, you must have been on your cell phone all the time, traveling
on my head.
everywhere. That's what I'm saying.
On your right hand.
It was on my right hand, and I had the other down in my ear.
And so he's got some good genetics, eating standard American diet, and he's actually using his body, which means that, most of the time there's not that much nutrition in standard American diet. So if you exercise, you just fall apart really fast. And if you don't exercise, you can hang for a while because there's minimal nutrition and you're not pushing yourself anyways. But, how long have you been, what was your diet? Have you changed it up way more now?
Oh yeah, I eat primarily fruits and vegetables and salads. And over the my pack last year in January of 2018 was the only meat I ate was. So I'm an outdoorsman and I'm a hunter, so I eat like venison and fish that I catch. And outside of that, if I go to a restaurant, now that I'm not working, before it was really hard to not look like a freak amongst everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's primarily fruits and vegetables and meat and fish in a sparing manner.
Okay.
So.
And the meat and fish, as long as it's a clean substance, especially for someone that exercises, is necessary.
And
eggs, all those things.
I think the biggest diet change when, I ate all the processed crap, and I'm not kidding you. 10 Diet Cokes a day was probably a low estimate some days. And when I cut that out, which was probably the hardest thing I ever did, it was so addicting, and I went to more of the greens and stuff. When I train and I exercise, the soreness is less than half of what it was when I was eating all the crap. So,
Did you still put in eggs too in your diet?
oh yeah, I've always eaten a lot of eggs for the last 10 years.
So did you ever go like vegan or vegetarian for a while?
No.
Which was smart. Okay, and if anybody does want to do vegan or vegetarian, you still have to put eggs in, just to give yourself a decent protein profile. If not, just sort of demineralize yourself. And it may take a little while for some people to get demineralized. It just depends on how active you are. So,
Are your parents still alive?
They are. My dad has quite a few medical issues, prostate cancer, kidney cancer. He's treating things naturally now. He had a kidney removed, cardiac bypass times 5, 75.
times 5. 5?
5 bypasses. Knee replacement, and then he was feeling really good after the heart surgery, fell, hit his head on a wood splitter, gave himself a moderate brain injury. He's recovered pretty well, but he's lethargic, he doesn't have energy. I mean, obviously he's gone through the gamut of healthcare issues, so he's very sensitive to any change in his body, but they've both really taken on the natural movement.
So your mom,
My mom is taking off like she's 50. She's cleaned up her diet. She's done 30-day food detoxes with a natural doctor. She's at her high school weight. She's the Energizer Bunny, and she's she's more vibrant than she was when I was 10 years old. So it's really neat to watch. And she's 71. She'll be 72 in July.
Okay, and she has no health issues?
No, not much. She has parasites. They tell her. They tested, and
Everybody has them.
so yeah.
So when you changed your diet, you were on standard American diet. You were bicycling, you said?
Yeah.
Mostly?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can eat crappy food if you exercise too. You can burn that stuff right through you. You just can't. So, after a while you get demineralized, but you'll still burn all this stuff through you. Did you gain weight doing that, or did you stay pretty good?
I am 15 to 20 pounds heavier now than when I ate a crappy diet.
And heavier, more muscle?
I have more muscle. I also have more fat. I don't know
more
if
fat.
that's...
Okay, so were you in better shape? Pretty
Yeah.
good shape because of the exercise?
I was at least a lot leaner. I routinely ran under 10% body fat during cycling season, and then I would gain 10 or 15 pounds in winter, like most guys in the Midwest. And
he kept his testosterone up. This is what happens. You keep your testosterone up in your system, actually, because he looks pretty damn young for all the beating that he's done. And look, you're a CEO.
was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, CEO. That means you've got headaches of all the headaches, all the secrets in your head, all the responsibility of everybody else. So how long did you do that for?
12 years.
And he's still pretty good. Look, how many, like you said, cell phones, crappy food, flying 80,000,
60 to 80,000 miles a year.
Okay, flying around, sleeping in hotels, Wi-Fi the whole time.
Yeah.
You got a tough body.
A lot of rich dinners, a lot of steaks and seafoods and big
You should
spreads.
be 250 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, and looking ragged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever it is, exercise does help you, even if you have a crappy diet. It just does. You're burning it through.
And I live in the land of cheese, right? Cheeseheads in Wisconsin and beer. So, it's very easy to really go backwards on the diet in the Midwest.
Everybody's overweight there.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. So,
The whole Midwest.
It's like Iowa.
Yeah.
If you're not 225, you're not part of the crew. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Salome. I am 44, coming from London, originally from Spain. And I do have, from I think many years, but only knew about that chronic really fatigue that kept me in bed for some days and little by little waking up. 2 years ago. And having seen many doctors, well, the Western traditional medicine does not give me any solution. The only thing we find out was the subclinical thyroid condition. And about that, the doctor told me that middle-aged woman, it's general and nothing to do until the thyroid does not work anymore and we can surgery. and take the medical for life. And I'm not taking no medical. I don't like no chemicals. I don't used to go to the doctor. So that was not a solution for me. I just didn't want the outcome. So in London, I've been visiting functional medicine, epigenetics, and that after a year and a half, it didn't shift my condition. Changing diets, different diets, and many with the functional medicine, I was taking so many pills, natural, but it looks like the same. So if I want to change it, I just want to change to a natural, but not changing one pill for another one. Mm-hmm. Anyway, my body was not changing. Still with that really low energy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes now I get, I'm here, so I'm so really, really happy. Which inside, I just feel this happiness inside. But the working to the outside is it's keeping me, it's hard now for me. And so looking for myself, I came to read about fasting and how the ancients do the fasting to heal the body. You just get sick, you don't eat. And so I came about for a friend that sent me a link to that eating from light. So I thought, after all eating that I've done, changes that I've been going through, and nothing worked, what if I can just eat from light prana, whatever it is, even if it's the 99% void in the cells going through the cosmos, anyway, what kind of link that I can get the energy from, not eating from food, but eating from other sources, and get my health, my physical body back, or healthier than ever, because I think I've been all my life. My nervous system, I have this trembling pulse, but I know myself like that. This is how I know myself. So,
meaning that always when you put your hand out, but if it's at rest, no.
No, yes, resting too.
Also.
Yes.
So it's always.
It's always.
I used to have that same thing. I had mercury poisoning, lead poisoning, whatever it was. I can show you all the lead in my ankles, in my capillaries.
So
I used to have that shape too.
Yeah. So it's been uncomfortable. Yes.
It's embarrassing is what it is. Trying to go ahead and write something and go,
yes. Or even eating. You know, the soup.
Yeah.
Or you're having a meeting on those. I'm an architect, so the meetings at lunch or dinners, and having before the late nights working, or even having wine, and the cup of wine, you could not take the cup of wine because you
and they're wondering what's wrong. Are you nervous or are you sick? They're wondering, are you nervous?
Yes.
Or are you sick?
Or even for myself, because I went to the doctor then, and the only thing they could find was they give me some pills for the stress, for the nervous system.
Exactly.
Well, then kept me the day, and that was not a solution. Well, for me, it was not a solution. That was not, it didn't work.
So what do they want to do with your thyroid? You said maybe surgery?
No, nothing until it did. So actually, nothing, because it works.
No, but before, the doctor, what did he want to do?
No, the doctor said that until it doesn't work, we don't do anything.
Okay.
So I thought, so I just wait until it gets so or the stress in the body was so high that then, and surgery, I don't want to have any more surgeries. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had many surgeries when I was little, and I really don't want to go through no medical again. Anyway, where I was. Okay, the fasting. So I was reading the book, and in the book it's from an Australian woman, and it's technically, it explains a fasting waits 21 days, and she advised to do it in group, so you can really get comfort and following. But I did not find a group, and I just read the book and just decided to do myself. So in London, in my room, I'm in this little room,
I did those 21-day fasting, which is first week is dry fast, no eat, no drink. The second and third week is orange juice, different percentage of diluted orange juice during those 2 weeks. And I did those 21 days. During those 21 days, all the pain came out of my body. No pain at all, which was heaven for me. And then I was conscious on how much pain did I had on my body. That for me, it was normal. Or I didn't know it was pain. And another thing that my period, no pain in my period, which I always had pain. When I had my period came, I was like 2-3 days in bed. Because terrible. And then I've been taking the pills to control the period for many years, which of course did not control and did not, after I told the doctor I don't want to take them anymore, I had a stop relationship, so I said I'm not going to take them anymore, didn't need it to, anyway, other decisions I made. That was one, and it did not solve the problem. So was irregular periods with pain again. And so with the fasting, I did not notice no pain. My period came. I was feeling happy. I could see, I think, red blood for the first time. I was only going to the bathroom to see the red blood. Really. Amazing.
It's working.
So my body is like, oh, it wants that. The only thing that, of course, I was doing that by myself. I'm not a doctor, and I was not mineralizing my body, and I finished very depleted. I went back to eating again, which is normal, but during the period, I went back to eating, and my pain came again. So I wanted, the reason I'm here, I saw it came out one of your videos, and I'm here to find a solution on how to keep the fasting, do the fasting clever, with wisdom, to strengthen my body, and to get well, and to reset.
Reset yourself. Yeah.
Reset, and get to know the body better, to just accompany it in whatever journey in life we have. And I'm really, really happy with all of you here. Really, yes. Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Now you notice how every person has been to the doctor. What do we live in a sick place? Is everybody going to the doctor? I see everybody going to the doctor to get a pill for something. Okay? I don't even know when the last time I went to the doctor was. It's been a long time. So, and then when you go to the doctor, you don't really get any solutions. So it's good that everybody's gone through all of this stuff here, and you're taking a lot of your health back into your own hands, because no one really can help you. They can stabilize you, but they really can't help you in the way you think so. So, yeah, but you notice everyone's got an individual story. And to me, look, everybody looks healthy to me. I see everybody healthy. It doesn't look like, unless you open your mouth and said something, everybody looks like the people I just see walking around. No one looks like they're sick in any way. And everybody generally is in pretty darn good shape here, compared to sometimes, you get a lot of people that have degenerated, super skinny or overweight. Okay, but everybody is looking healthy. But look how many complaints everybody has from these little things. And again, like I said, RF frequencies, okay, and herbicides are two big assaults. If we don't change these few things, no matter what we do, and look how many pills everybody's taking, even if you go to a naturopathic doctor. Hi, okay? Is it just another pill salesman?
That's how they make money.
I know, but making money, you're a doctor. That's all. That's not really the doctor of the future. Remember, is to put himself out of business and teach you what, of course, you should know, so you don't have to go to the doctor. So the job of a doctor is to try to put himself out of business. And you can see right now everybody's sick, so it means that the doctors aren't doing good business. They may be doing good business to make some money, but they're not doing good business to heal people, because if not, there wouldn't be 100 million diabetics. And all these different types of things. And everybody here had a solution of a magic pill. You notice that? A magic pill, or a magic surgery, or magic chemo, and maybe again, they will stabilize you. But there's a certain time where everybody, you know, sort of needs to jump into action and try to figure it out for themselves. So this is why I like to inspire people. You have to go through this like backwards first before you can even get to this level. You don't come here, you don't even try to fix yourself unless you go try the easiest thing. I can take that pill and I can still be a blasphemous? Okay, that's okay. But that's, you know, not the case, you found out. And the younger you are, it takes sometimes longer for you to get messed up. But I see, and I know Dr. Nix, everybody sees, the younger people now are being affected, which of course were obsolete before. Even 50-year-old people sick. That was a joke.
Childhood diabetes.
Yeah, you had to be like 70 complaining like this. Okay? And yeah, look how much surgeries and stuff your father's gone through. Like my dad. What a tough son of a gun. 5 surgeries, this, that, and shoulder replacement, I think you said, knee replacement. Jeez, what a job. And then how many pills? Just think how much money. My one guy's in the hospital, he's got like $500,000 in bills. Been in the hospital for like, I don't know, a couple weeks. On and on. Back and forth, boom, just like that. I was in the hospital for 6 days with my snake bite. How much do you think my bills were? $100,000 a day. 100 grand a day. But they did save, yeah, 100,000 a day. They did go ahead and save my arm. I took 66 vials of antivenom. $3,000 a vial, 66 vials, adds up there pretty fast. Plus ICU every day, $600,000 in bill. My insurance company paid like $480,000 for 6 days. And what happens if you didn't have insurance?
You're in debt.
What happens? You owe it to them. And they'll put a lien on your house. And you didn't even get cured. You didn't even get help. They just stabilized you. So, anyways, yeah, I see the health field right now can help you in many ways in emergency layers. But when it comes to curative, they failed miserably. Failed miserably. But emergency, I saved your life.
Only save your life.
I saved your life. I saved mine many times. But curative, failing miserably. As you people have all gone through. Did you get your money back for wasting your time going to the doctor? For what? For what? Let me scratch my head, go on the back and read my Merck manual and see if we can come up with a, I don't know, diagnosis and then a treatment plan for you. Because the manual says, the PDR, Physician's Desk Remembrance. And I better call my friend up. Hey, what should I do for this guy, man? Okay? And then doctor comes back with his white jacket, stethoscope on and says, okay, this is what we're going to do for you. Went over with my colleagues. Yeah, you went over because you had to, I mean, I worked at the hospital for 7 years.
And what he doesn't tell you is he's shooting from the hip.
He's shooting from the hip. Yeah, I worked in the hospital for 7 years, and you know, behind the scenes, the doctors are different people than when they come out with the jackets like this, acting like they're all knowing. And then back behind the counter, they're all confused. That's all. That's all I see. And it takes you a while. If you're a nurse, you see the same thing if you work in the hospital. You become an assistant to death, listening to the doctor's orders. I'm going to give this person this. Okay.
It's experimenting, like what we're doing here.
Well, it is. But
Practicing privately.
But what you're doing here, look, you're experimenting, but what you're doing is you're trying to use the innate intelligence to actually revive itself, give it rest, and be smart about it. Remember, this machine is very smart. And if you think the doctor's smarter than your machine, well, that might be true for certain instances. But in 99% of the instances, and magic, again, the magic pill will not save your life. And usually you'll try the magic pills and you'll do all these things, and now you've gone through the hamster wheel, and now it's hard to help you. It's hard to help you because you've assaulted your system so many different ways. Just taking 5 months of antibiotics, and you look healthy. Remember that. But your body in time, if you don't fix this thing, it's just, you went ahead and like sprayed Roundup on the weeds. You killed all the weeds and all your vegetables and everything, all the good stuff and the bad stuff. And whatever wants to grow back now, it only depends on a lot of different things, on how you realign your ecology. So, and then of course, you're like a new farmer right now. You're going to strip your intestinal tract like this big tractor with a disc, and you're going to disc up the pasture. You're going to kill pretty much all the lizards, all the snakes, all the things that live in that pasture. Okay, because that's what happens when you commercially farm. And then you're going to do what? You're going to plant new seeds. You're going to plant new seeds in here. Okay, to grow the ecology that you need to grow. So you can grow a better garden in here, just like a better garden out there. It's the same thing. So, and it does take a little time, but in time, you find out if you fix your gut, then a lot of the other things, they just fix themselves. So, all right.
Hi, my name's Bill. I'm 52. My problems pretty much began with vaccinations when I was younger. My first episode after vaccination was that I literally, I don't know what condition I actually developed because I was a little too young to understand, but I literally did not have a bowel movement for 6 months. So I don't know if it's Crohn's, IBS, leaky gut, whatever. I had something major where I did.
6 months?
I mean, maybe not a full bowel movement, maybe a little bit trickled out here and there, but that was it. My belly, I looked like, a big old beer drinker at 7 years old. My belly was so distended. I still remember seeing the x-ray. It looked like a brick wall in there. It was really bad. So basically they said they tried everything. They had no alternative. They were gonna have to give me put on a colostomy bag for me. But my dad, who's a common laborer, said, no, we're not going to do that, So he said, son, when you get home in the morning, after school, me and mom are going to try something. It's not going to be fun. So he literally laid me down, and he went up there and he pulled everything out. After that, I was able to go, but it was pretty much only once a week.
And this was at 7 years old? 7
years old. So from 7 to probably 37, that's about, how often I went. In between that time, I was really into athletics. I swam, I trained a lot. I swam Division 1A college. After that, I got really into bodybuilding, so I was pounding myself with protein powders. I'd even wake up at 2 in the morning and drink a protein shake. I used to do the same stuff. But what else I forgot to mention too is I had another adverse vaccine reaction. My guess would be the polio vaccine, because soon after I got it, I had severe pain in my lower extremities for like a week. I was just laying on a couch in the living room, just in agony. And
how old were you then? I
was probably like 8 then. And after it was all said and done, I was left with a drop foot, which I knew you had an issue with. So, basically that's how I, found you is, I said, well, I was watching your stuff and I was like, you got a lot of, the same thing, the bodybuilding, the protein, the foot, the stupidity. So basically, at around 35, I says, this isn't, this lifestyle isn't working. My knees were killing me. My hip hurt. My shoulders were shot from, just too many years of heavy weightlifting and swimming. So I says, I started researching and reading, and I ended up going to the other extreme, and I went totally raw, and I switched from weightlifting to just the yoga. And I immediately just dropped a ton of weight, and I did not look good at all. Strength, everything. I mean, I looked like a walking twig.
You were more of an athlete before, and then all of a sudden you switched over to sort of vegan or vegetarian?
Basically just all raw food. That was it. I was just raw food, salads, raw soups.
So raw food, raw meat.
No raw meat, no meat. Yeah, vegetarian.
Raw veggies.
Yeah.
Like a raw food veggie diet.
Yeah.
Any eggs?
No, I just went to the extreme.
And what happened to you? Your creatine went down, everything went down?
Oh yeah, I went like I looked miserable. I just did not feel good, look good, anything.
How many months did you hang on that?
I actually did it for like a year, and
That's good though. You went through the system.
Yeah.
That doesn't even work.
yeah. So long story short, I tried many different diets. Vegan, vegetarian, the blood type diet, where it said I was a meat eater, so I went just to eating a lot of meats. And none of them really worked. I did a lot of organ cleansing, like colon cleanse, liver gallbladder flushes.
Tried a lot of stuff.
I tried a lot of stuff.
When you did the flesh, did you do grass-fed, organic, or was it just sort of commercial grade?
Oh, which flesh?
When you ate the flesh, was it grass-fed?
Oh,
Was it commercial grade?
well, in my teens and 20s, it was just all commercial. But when after I transitioned and started learning more, and went back to meats after my, vegetarian and raw food diets, I went all clean meats, all.
Was it grass? Because the grass, the only reason I say, because it's got the biome. That's what it helps a lot. Because anything that eats off the floor eats the soil-based organisms, and it goes into the body. Anything that eats dry food, okay, like maybe alfalfa, whatever it would be, that's doesn't have the biome in it, because you're not eating from the ground. You're eating from a dry stack. So that meat is super toxic. It's grain-fed. They fatten up all the cattle, everything with grain, and it makes the meat then toxic. So soil-based organisms, so I just wanted to just see if...
Right.
Back then people didn't even say grass.
Right, exactly. It wasn't back that time, it was just basically organic, and that's all it said. It wasn't until, years later where they started putting, 100% grass-fed, this and that. So basically, the more I researched, the more I came across, I'm convinced that the body can heal itself given the right situation and the circumstances, and you put it in the right environment. And that's when I stumbled upon fasting. So I really got into fasting. I got into intermittent fasting, and I did like 1, 3, 5, 7-day water fast. But I knew I wasn't doing something right, because I would always stop after 7 days because I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I mean, I was so catabolic. Yeah, I was just like, it was like I just could not look at myself in the mirror.
The prison camp.
Yeah, I had zero energy. I literally I was at the point where I had to tell myself, okay, put my left foot out. Okay, now put my right foot out. Just trying to get to the sauna.
Yeah, brain fog.
Yeah, and I had to, every time I saw a bench, I'd have to sit down and rest, just to make it from one side of the, where I was staying to another.
Exercising still back then?
I was, but it was just yoga.
Just yoga.
Yeah.
And that's usually, just so you guys know, look, when you change from a diet that basically will take away your testosterone, you can't work out. There's no reason, because you feel like you got no strength. So what you do is you do passive exercise. And you see a lot of vegans, vegetarians, they don't do any physical exercise because they don't have any testosterone. They don't even want to. It hurts. They get injuries, so they can just do the stretching. And of course, yoga's got some good strength moves to it too. But I don't see people doing those unless you're sort of like, been doing it for a while. Most people, you're just doing this like in-breath type stuff. It's because you don't have testosterone. Once you get testosterone, yoga's cool. But now you need to do something. Now you need to go ahead and actually, because this is what I've found out. You stimulate your testosterone, you can not even eat that good. Your system uses all this stuff way more, okay? And if you don't have testosterone, all that good food you put in, nothing really helps, especially again with the RF frequencies, especially again with the glyphosate that's loaded in all this stuff. So I just found out if you don't take all the glyphosate and you clean the intestinal tract and get all that garbage out, how can any new biology even regrow? it's a good thought, but it's not easy to regrow. It's the poisons are still in there.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here now. So, because I know I'm not doing something right, and I know, like, I can't get past that 7 days. You know, I've always wanted to go longer, but I just can't get past that 7 days, and I don't know all the, you know, the supplemental additions to
7
do.
days is good to do on your own. Anything further than that?
That's what I figured. I go, if I'm even going to attempt to go more than 7 days, I got to be where people really know what they're doing.
Yeah, you gotta be, you know, and also you're bouncing off what you're doing with them. You're watching them, and everybody's sort of like, it's not like by yourself. You feel like you're killing yourself.
Right.
There's no way to bounce back. What do you have? What is your major complaint right now? Because I know you just said you had a lot of.
Well, right now, yeah, my digestive system's gotten much better. You know, now I go like 5 days a week, but it's still like some days I go every day for weeks, and then it just stops. And
you get blood in your stools too?
No.
Okay.
No.
You just feel like you gotta go and you can't go?
No, I just don't have a feeling at all. Like my peristalsis doesn't kick in, or I just don't feel anything.
Feel like all of a sudden you're packing up?
No.
Because you're eating, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think I do, because I think from my past where I didn't go to the bathroom for so long that I think it's just used to, you know, having a lot in there. It doesn't affect it. I feel fine. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel gassy.
Everybody looks healthy here. Do you notice that? Really healthy. Everybody does. But look how many complaints everybody's had.
Yeah, so other than I know my digestive system's still whacked. I also did, you know, from my years of heavy weightlifting, I did some nerve damage all down my right side of my sciatic. I fried the whole thing. So I've really lost a lot of strength on the back side, you know, the calf and the hamstring and the glute. And then, on the other side, I got the drop foot.
How long have you had the drop foot?
Well, since the vaccine reaction when I was 7.
Wow.
Yeah. But I noticed that, like, probably when I was in my, I would say probably about 10 years ago, after I kind of changed everything around, I noticed that a switch came back on, and I can feel it and I can move it a little bit now, but I was thinking, wow.
When you lift your foot up and you pull your ankle all the way up?
No. But I have a lot more movement in it than I used to before, because before it was nothing, and I had a really bad limp. Now it's not too noticeable. And I was like, wow, I turned that thing back on, you know, just by making these changes. And I think, you know, it's really going to come back, you know, and it's just going to take a while to strengthen it back up, because it's been out of commission for 40 years, but it just reached a plateau and hasn't really progressed.
So do you get numbness, tingling in your feet? Do you get the pain?
Not on the drop foot side, but on my nerve damage side, yeah, this right outside of the foot is just numb.
Sciatica.
Yeah.
That's all the way down.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an MRI of your back to check and see if you have any, because I had 2 prolapse discs in my back, so I knew what I was up against, and that's why, they want to do surgery on my back.
Yeah, same with me.
It's my own back, doing a lot of way different experimental stuff than, of course, the neurosurgeons and everybody just wants to, I took $50,000 worth of back, just cortisone injections, MRI after MRI, and all, the idea is to come up with is, well, let's just fuse it together.
Yeah, they wanted to send me to a back specialist and get an MRI and stuff, but I knew that was just trouble. I was like, I don't want to do that. I go, there's got to be some other way.
$5,000 to hear a little opinion, and the opinion will be, we can fix you. You need some surgery. We can scrape that out just a little bit. We'll go ahead and do a Band-Aid surgery. Just go ahead and remove that little piece. Papaya surgery. They got 1,000 different. Depends on how good the doctor's his charisma is to say, I think this guy can help me.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're lucky you didn't get it done.
No, I know. That's one of the smart moves I made. There you go.
Thank you.
More chocolate here, guys.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia from London. It's wonderful to be here. I feel like it's been a really long road to get here. But where to?
Days, right? You said?
Yeah. But not only that, I've been planning to come here since last year, so had to get through 12 months to get here. 12 months in Yemen, which was interesting. But yeah, where to start? I think physically, I guess I haven't really come down with anything too serious over the years. I would say my main issues that I want to look at while I'm here is I've always had an issue with my skin, and which you noticed this morning as well, which I would really like to sort out once and for all. Dental issues since I was really young. So I've had quite a few things done dentally, but I had all the mercury removed before I came here. And what else? Yeah, I would say my life has been about trying to really understand myself and the world around me. A big turning point was an incredible trip I had to the Amazon a few years ago, where I spent 6 months working with the plant medicine. So, and then finding Earther Academy just felt like the natural way to just combine everything that I was interested in. So really very interested in the whole evolutionary aspect of the whole being. That's why I'm here. It's quite profound to talk about that experience. But it's difficult to know what to say, when to say, but it's really shifted my consciousness and expansion.
Oh, shit. Maybe
Huge.
1 week in the Amazon changes the way, especially if you drink some of the entheogenic plants.
Yeah. So it was a huge.
Did you go there to learn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes, I stayed there in the Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah. I did not only the ceremonies, but also some 5 different dietas with different plants. Just really loved all of it. Really loved the connection with nature, which I've been craving more and more the older I get, which is another reason why I'm here. So it's really about many of the things that you talk about in your videos, which is to get to this optimal level of being, and so that's kind of a combination of why I'm here. That's the driving force. Yeah.
All right. And you've traveled.
I've traveled quite a bit. I've had quite a stressful job over the years. I've been working in humanitarian aid and the human rights field, environmental rights sector, for about 17, 18 years. I've done different missions overseas, and I've also been based in London, but I don't want to be based in London permanently anymore. That's been the case for quite a while. But so I've seen lots of different parts of the world. I loved South America. I really fell in love with all the indigenous cultures there and all the different.
Just the nice, humble, simple people.
Incredible. Yeah.
And they're so wanting to learn anything that will help them.
Yeah.
So wanting.
Yeah. So really, I would describe my life as been a quest, really, for as young as I can remember. I've always been searching for something, both outside, externally, and both internally. And actually, another reason why I'm here is because I needed to finally have my internal worlds corresponding outwardly, because I feel like I have this whole interior world, universe. Particularly even more so since being in the Amazon, and then it's been quite difficult to deal with the external environment. So I've just this is why I'm in Hawaii now, so I can finally have a bit more of a unified thing going on. Does that make sense?
No, for sure. Think of the body needs, once you get so-called a spiritual awakening from whatever way it would be, the body needs to catch up to, and a lot of people do a lot of mind work and they don't do body work, and then a lot of people do a lot of body work and they do no mind work.
Yeah.
So did you when you did the plant medicines, Did you have lots of people? Did you witness go through a lot of the transformation?
Yeah, it was amazing. But I was lucky because I was able to stay there for the a long time. A lot of people come and do 2 weeks or a month, but I was able to commit to a specific program. I was staying at a wonderful place, and I saw lots of people go through many different things. And I think the more time you have, I think that's great. I saw people back out of it who just not ready to go there for whatever reason. So it was really fascinating. But I mean, as soon as I arrived, I felt like I was home. So I was like, right, I'm staying.
One of the biggest things I saw with a lot of the shamanic groups is they're not doing any cleansing of the body before they think they're going to reset the mind.
Yeah.
The body's your church, and your church has a lot of undesirables on it. And before you reset the mind, the body has to be cleansed. It's your church, because the mind are your temples, left and right temple. And the temples run the body. But if the body's dirty, why would you think you're going to clean up the mind? What are you doing? The body needs to be clean. So I see a lot of people going backwards with this, because the shamans, as you notice over there, a lot of the people, they have a lot of up here, but they're all overweight too. The Western system has got to them.
Sure.
Okay, they don't have GMOs when you go to the Amazon, but they certainly have Kentucky Fried crap.
Yeah.
They got kill yourselves too. They got every type of fast food just about with GMOs, but they won't really let the GMOs supposedly in there, but it's in all the food that they bring in and process in. But you see the people. In certain areas, you don't see people overweight, but I see a lot of the shamans, okay, for some reason.
It's true.
They're all not healthy. They may be all this in their head, but I see a lot of people physically not healthy. Okay, so...
Which country were you in?
So I was in Peru. Yeah, and the place where I was staying was incredible because, again, it's sort of very much connected with what you guys are doing here, where he was very much focused on nutrition. Right. So it was all about nutrition and detoxification and working with the plants. It's called Amaru Spirit. Amaru Spirit. Yeah. I'll tell you more about it. Iquitos.
Oh, Iquitos.
Yeah, and then a little boat ride.
Okay. So you're up
there. Yeah, and
Iquitos is how many feet is it? Iquitos?
How many?
Yeah.
Feet.
Like what, sea level?
Oh, I don't know. Top of my head. It's the main little town that you come into. One of. For the Amazon.
For the Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking, but it's right next to the river.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I keep thinking there's another town.
No.
I forget that one was called.
There's another place called Tarapoto where a lot of people go, which is in another area and more mountainous and
it's in the
rain.
Yeah. So you went more like I went. We went to where you're at the sea level.
Exactly.
Of the river.
I
Yeah.
visited Detox.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was. It's either one or the other, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, so he was really it was very much an alchemical experience because it was a synergy of everything and the plants and ceremony and food and detoxification protocols, enemas.
Cool.
Yeah, it was incredible
So
place.
What I see the people over there, they're loaded full of parasites.
Yeah.
Loaded. Go to Bali. Hey, walk around your bare feet. You come back with a bunch of parasites. And it's because of the human feces deal. They're not that clean. You go to any one of these, like, the Amazon's a second world country, it's third or fourth. You know? I mean, it's not, they have not anything there. I mean, most of the places don't even have aspirin. They have nothing. Did you notice that? There's nothing there. They do certainly have Coca-Cola and 7-Up and Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
They got all the sodas. Yeah.
But in their pharmacies, they actually are selling Wachuma and ayahuasca in their pharmacy.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
Wow.
And
But
Yeah, like I said, because most of those places, anything that they do have, it's not local. It's all brought in from other places now. It used to be local lots. They used, they've sort of stepped up to convenience now. We went to the Highlands. In the Highlands, those people, that's the people who don't have aspirins at the like 15,000 foot level that pick the maca. You don't have anything over there. They're the healthiest people. No fatties there. No one smokes because you can't. You're at 16,000 feet. Okay, they drink like fish. I didn't see one person out of shape. Everybody's happy. They got nothing. Playing around with soccer balls, yeah, that don't even work. They're broken, but they're happy. So, and then when I went down to the lower Amazon down there, I saw a lot of sick people there. Okay, because I think there's a lot of pollution in the river.
Definitely.
Okay, and a lot of feces.
And in the towns, yeah, it's full of rubber. I mean, yeah.
Dirt roads, and everybody's driving their cars on the dirt roads, and everybody's crapping on areas, and it rains and it comes in, and then the dirt comes up, and you're breathing all this sort of feces from pretty. But it's a beautiful place if you don't see the destruction. You notice when you flew over the mountains, you see all the burning they're doing when you were flying.
No.
Clear cutting. If you fly from one place to the next, because we went up to the highlands, you had to go.
I went to the Andes as well.
And they're burning like 15 places on the way up. And I go, what's that smoke down there? He says, oh, they're clear cutting down there. And they're just destroying the forests. I mean, just like big fires.
To grow agriculture for cows.
Oh, for cattle. That's all they want to do is cattle, because they make, and they don't even eat it. They send it all to Switzerland.
Yeah.
It's a big money.
What is your ethnicity?
So it's mixed. My parents are from the Indian subcontinent, and I also have some Persian roots. So it's kind of mixed from the Persian side and
like me,
India,
from the
Pakistan.
We're from the desert.
Are we? Yeah. Desert. Sure.
We're the
Desert land.
desert tribe.
But the Himalayas, some beautiful.
We're the desert tribe. All the people with that live like you got the desert tribe.
Yeah.
Are the Tunisians, the Libyans, the Arab nations, Malta. It's all the desert tribes. Lebanon, Algeria. Oh yeah, not too many green things there. A lot of dirt. That's what I call them desert. There's not too many greenery. Those people are tough because they can live. Wow, in places that we wouldn't want to. Okay.
So,
very good, Chris.
Yeah.
Let's give us a couple of words.
All right.
Our new man here.
Yeah, super grateful for the opportunity. Thank you guys. I've also made that boat ride out of Iquitos. Love fitness and exploring nature, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. Have a master's degree in kinesiology, so movement's a big passion. And one of the ways I found of integrating that boat ride out of Iquitos and all the expansion of consciousness with the physicality has been Qigong's ancient practice of using your body's bioelectrical field for healing and application of that life force energy and cultivating that. So no impact, lighter than yoga, so something wonderful to share with you guys as you're not feeling the intensity deeper into the fast. And my highest excitement is meditation for a single pointed focus, and I'm healing different patterns within the mind and emotional system. So on the inverse of the fun and play, that's where I like to go as well. So cool.
And this is Chris's first retreat here with us.
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever fasted before for a decent time, let's say 14 days?
I have not.
Okay. And then have you ever had any sickness at all?
Nothing prolonged or substantial.
Okay.
Common cold, I definitely like to strengthen the just immune system.
But nothing hanging, nothing that you've been battling with?
Nope.
Stomach issues or?
Going deeper into the world of causes rather than effects and tracing it back, getting less and less physical. And
Well, that makes you feel pretty good. All right, so he can help you then. He's not feeling so bad. If he's feeling bad, he can't help you. Okay, there we go. Let's just take this back, and I think we're finished. That was beautiful for everybody to share a little bit of their story. And like I said, everybody has a story that I know after 21 days, your story is going to be different. For sure. And like I said, remember everybody, when you look at each other, when you look in the mirror, you're not going to be able to see too much change because it's micro. Okay, every day you see yourself. Every day you see yourself. But I'll see you like on the 7th day, and all of a sudden, magically, you change. 10 years younger. Okay, some people look 10 years older until they refeed. So it just depends on where you're at in your regeneration stage. So if you're skinnier, you're going to look sucked in. And if you're overweight, you just look like you just gained 10 years of life back. Okay, all your swelling goes away. And all of a sudden you go, whoa, I can fit in my clothes when I was 18. Well, you're supposed to. I can still fit in my jeans when I was 16. So, anyways, this is a beautiful group, like I said, and I think everybody's going to do, okay, wunderbar. So, any questions that anybody has at this time, right now? Okay, very good. And everybody talked. That was so nice. Nothing more. Okay, we're good. Okay, that's the end of this beginning roundup. And we'll do an ending roundup too. And of course we do a question and answer every week too, to go over what we're going to do next week and how your last week went. Not only by the every day, but like a weekly roundup. We come together and we see how everything is. So, okay, there we go. Now you can, everybody do the aloha thing here, and give them the pan with the, yeah, there we go. And we got smiles too. All right.